conversation. We're diving into a topic that affects, well, half the planet, but it's one we often just don't talk about. We're going to get honest about the daily reality of being a girl. All right, let's just jump right in.
I know. It's so easy to just keep scrolling, but I'm asking you to hang on for a few minutes. This is a conversation we really need to have, and you're a part of it. Okay, so let's start with a really common idea, almost a myth, that we've kind of fixed all this stuff. That we live in a totally safe, evolved world for girls now. But is that actually true?
We hear it all the time, right? Oh, times have changed. And yeah, on the surface, it feels like progress. But for so many girls, that phrase just feels empty. The truth is, danger hasn't vanished. It's just changed its shape. It's online, it's in our homes, it's everywhere.
We love to call our society modern. It makes us feel advanced. But what does modern even mean if a huge part of the population has to live with a baseline of fear every single day? That's the contradiction we're really looking at today.
And this is like the invisible rulebook girls are forced to navigate. A simple smile gets misinterpreted as flirting. Walking by yourself is seen as an invitation for trouble. And choosing your own clothes? Suddenly, that's a comment on your character. It's a constant battle against being misjudged. All of that judgment, it has a real impact. It creates this whole other world of unwritten rules, a world where fear, unfortunately, is in charge. Just take a second and think about this. Not the big, scary headlines, but the small things. The tiny adjustments girls and women make every single day, almost without thinking, just to stay safe. You might be surprised. Look, this isn't just a bullet point list. This is a daily routine for millions. These aren't just quirks, they're literal survival tactics. Faking a phone call walking home, that quick glance in the back seat of a cab, swallowing a no because you're scared of the reaction. These are the invisible shields girls carry around every day.
So, where does this all come from? Why is this still happening? Well, it's not just about individuals. It's a symptom of some of the massive hypocrisies that are just baked into our society.
And we need to be really clear, this is not a somewhere else problem. It is a global problem. From America to the Middle East, from Europe to Asia, the specific struggles might look different, but that core issue of safety and respect, that pain is universal.
And here's a huge hypocrisy we see play out. Society is so quick to judge and shame sex workers, right? But how often do we actually ask why? What systems led them there? And what about the people creating the demand? The double standard is just glaring. The person providing the service is shamed, while the person consuming it often gets a total pass.
Maybe the most profound hypocrisy of all is this one. In so many cultures, we put goddesses on a pedestal. We worship female deities. And yet, when it comes to the real, living, breathing women right here among us, we completely fail to offer them that same respect and protection. That gap right there between what we say we believe and what we actually do, that's the heart of the problem.
So what's the root cause of all this fear and all this hypocrisy? It really boils down to one single toxic idea: playing the blame game.
I mean, this slide just says everything, doesn't it? We raise our daughters with this encyclopedia of don'ts, a whole instruction manual on how to avoid being a target. But our sons? We often skip the most important lessons of all: how to be respectful, how to have empathy, how to just be a decent human being. This isn't just about parenting. It's a massive societal blind spot.
This is the question we should all be asking ourselves. Why is our first instinct so often to pick apart the victim's choices? What was she wearing? Why was she there? Why did she say that? Instead of focusing 100% of our attention on the person who actually caused the harm.
And that right there, that is the real tragedy. We've built a world where girls are expected to become experts in risk assessment and self-defense, while the rest of the world gets a pass on the basic responsibility of just not harming them. That is a weight no person should have to carry.
Okay, I know that all sounds pretty heavy, and it is. But here's the hopeful part. We are not powerless here. We can actually be part of the solution. Real change starts with just one voice, and that voice can be yours.
Being silent is not a neutral position. When we see something wrong, when we see injustice, and we choose to look away, we're accidentally helping the problem continue. Our silence is the very thing that lets this toxic culture keep on going.
So what can you do? It's actually super simple. First, if you see someone judging or bullying a girl, step in. Stop them. Don't be a bystander.
And second, speak up. Use your voice to challenge these old, broken ideas. Seriously, one person speaking up can start an echo that changes everything.
And let's end with this, because it's the most important takeaway of all. This is not a women's issue. It's a human issue. A society that can't keep all of its members safe is a society that has failed, period. The time to change is right now, and it really does start with every single one of us.